Hello everyone. Good morning. Thanks for joining Territory Management in Zoho CRM webinar. I'm Gopal, handling product marketing for Zoho CRM and other Zoho services. So using territories is one of the key subjects I have seen from day one in Zoho and particularly in Zoho CRM. Segmenting your customers, setting targets, focusing and achieving results. So that is the basic philosophy of sales and marketing. And territory management is going to play an important role. So anytime during this webinar, you can use the chat bar to ask questions and my team will be very happy to answer them. We'll also have a dedicated question and answer session at the end of this webinar. And most importantly, by early next week, we will also email you the complete resource kit of territory management that includes recorded presentation, decision making guide, FAQ, online help, survey, and other useful curated videos. All right, let us get started. So this is how our agenda goes. So what is territory management? Next, we will discuss about the different types of organizations that require territory management. After that, we will look into the benefits of implementing territory management. Then we will talk about the difference between role hierarchy and territory hierarchy so that you can decide which one is best suited for your organization. And later, we will demonstrate about setting up territory management in Zoho CRM. Here we will also cover the various modules that are influenced by territories such as accounts, contacts, deals, reports, etc. At the end, I will also show you a live demo on how to create the territories, set rules, assigning users to each territory, then how the custom view looks for a territory user, forecasting module, reports, dashboards, and so forth. Finally, there will be a Q&A for 5 to 10 minutes. So what's territory management? Picture this scenario. Jilker Corp has its customer base in UK and the sales structure is divided into three regions: Scotland, Wales, and Greater London. Each region has a sales manager and salespeople, and the sales rep should be able to view all the records in their territory. So, in this case, territory by geography, you have UK as UK as one sales territory that can be demarcated into by region or location using zip code or time zones. If you extrapolate the same thing to if you are a global company, you have offices in different countries, then you can very well have your territory by different regions such as Americas, EMEA, Asia Pacific, and your headquarters may be in United States. So for each of these territory or each of these region, you can have territory manager or country head or region head. And all these accounts are associated to different territories, and headquarters can also view sales performance of each territory. So usually when we think of territory, the first thing that comes to your mind might be geography, but the need not be the only criteria to define territories. There are other characteristics as well. So now picture this scenario. What if that your company is not divided into different geographies, but you are selling or you are catering to different verticals such as healthcare, retail, real estate, and different industry verticals. So while defining territories in Zoho CRM, you can group all the customers from the healthcare industry into one territory, insurance customers into another territory, and so on. Then your company might deal with multiple product lines. Like say your company sells customer support software and antivirus software. Now each of these products would cater to a different set of customers. So you can group your customers by creating territories for each of these products. In this way, your customers are clearly demarcated and you can provide focused sales. So I ran this poll a few weeks ago to see how our customers are actually organizing their sales territories. So most of the customers organize territories by geography, products or service. or they also the industries that they cater to. And some companies have language specific territories, such as if for example Zoho has its own offices in China and Japan, and we have our own local sales. So that is a pure language specific territory. So bottom line is the territories can be defined by geography, industry type, product lines, deal size, business units. For example, if you have a group of sales reps that cater to the SMBs and another team of experienced sales executives for managing big accounts, then grouping your customer accounts would be easier with territories. You simply have to divide your small and large businesses into two major territories. Then you can also define territories based on product, divisions, or business units. For instance, if your company has three business units, telecom, retail, and IT, since each of these business units cater to a separate segment of customers, you can define each business unit as a territory in Zoho CRM. So you can define territories based on any of these criteria as long as it is simple and easy to maintain. So what is territory? This is a better way to segment your customer base based on certain account characteristics to facilitate easy sharing of customers between sales teams. So that could be a pure technical definition. But what you are actually doing is you are segmenting your customers based on certain characteristics, industry or geography or business unit or something, so that each of these accounts can be easily shared with sales teams, though, so that they can focus on particular customer accounts. So I just want to share one of our uh, Gartner Magic Quadrant stats. The adoption of territory management has increased from 22% to 38% from 2015 to 2016. What it actually conveys is most of our customers, most of our customers of Zoho CRM, or by and large all other companies, they started selling more to their existing customers because acquiring new customers is expensive than selling to existing customers. When you want to sell to your existing customers, it is better to focus because people who are familiar with customers can do a better job. And territory management is going to help this particular scenario because you will be grouping set of accounts into one territory so that experienced salespeople can sell more. Basically, it could be a cross selling or it could be an upselling. I also pulled some stats from our CRM system. I was surprised that 40% of customers who implemented enterprise edition, who are using enterprise edition, they also implemented territory management, and they also have sales targets or forecasting by territory. And most importantly, 50% of records are assigned to sales teams via territory assignment rules. So what it conveys is if if customers are using territory management, they assign most of their records to territories through assignment of territory rules than generic data sharing rules. So now let us get into when do you need territory management. There are two things that always influence implementation of territory management. We have to ask these questions. Does your company sharing needs depend more on accounts characteristics rather than the individual ownership of records? Let us say your company sell furniture to schools in various districts and you have sales reps for each district. Depending on the district and the quantity of order placed, you assign the deal to your sales reps. So here you would want to assign customer accounts. In this case, schools based on the account characteristic, that is the district and the quantity of order placed, and not on the individual record ownership. The second question that you have to ask is, does the sales structure in your organization require you to share customer accounts with many people from different teams? Let us take another example. You have an inside or ground sales rep who makes calls to the prospect and arranges for a meeting. And you also have a field sales rep who visits the prospect to give a demo of the product. So, how do you share the record with only these two sales reps? You would use groups and data sharing settings in Zoho CRM, but it becomes a complex process if there are many similar instances in your organization. For such a complex and collaborative sharing model, you need territories that help to group customer accounts and share records with different sales teams. Now, the other important thing to consider is administration. Does your administrator find it complex to manage the numerous sharing rules when there are changes in the sales structure? A sales executive who takes care of customer inquiries that come from China is a star performer in your team. You decide to give the sales rep additional responsibility to handle customers from Japan also. In this case, territory management gives you the flexibility to add the user in China and Japan sales territory. In this way, sales executives can access the customer records from both countries. Moreover, you can assign a territory management to each of these territories, and this territory manager can create sub territories and assign users to his territory. This drastically reduces the burden of the administration. So, what will you gain from implementing territory management for your company? First of all, you will obtain better coverage of the market. As I mentioned before, when you segment customers into territories, you have better chance to provide focused sales. As there are fewer sales reps working on the accounts, they can provide personalized one-on-one service. The second one is you'll have flexibility over data visibility and sharing. Role hierarchy is a great way to accomplish data sharing among users and set up hierarchical access. But when a record can be viewed only by the owner or to the users who are superior to the record owner, role hierarchy is fine. But in territory, all the users assigned to territory can see the records from that territory. And it is also very easy to share records with other territories, which is not very easy with role-based hierarchical security. With territory management implementation, you can efficiently manage your resources. Say you have 5 sales reps in territory A and another 5 sales reps in territory B. You find that there is a lot of opportunities in territory A when compared to territory B. So you can manage your resources efficiently and bring about a balance in workload by assigning a few of the sales reps from territory B to territory A. Territory management also supports complex sales structures. You may have a frequently changing sales structure, or your sales reps would like to do cross selling where there is a need to constantly share accounts with different territories. However, however complex your sales structure is, it will be easy to manage using territory management. The most important thing from territory management implementation is not just organizing and focusing sales people on particular customer, but also it will help you to gain insights. This can be achieved through territory reports where you can analyze the sales patterns of each territory, know the performance of sales people by territory, revenue obtained from each territory, and so on. All these reports help you get a fine grained understanding of your sales to make smart decisions, set sales targets, and forecasting by territory. With forecasting, you can set sales targets and forecast for each territory and also assign users to the territory. By setting sales targets, you can identify if the territory is making a profit or not. And if a territory is not reaching the required target, then you can plan and optimize your resources to the territories that are making profit. Now let us look at what are all the various stages of implementation. So before implementing territory management for your organization, I would recommend you to have a feasibility study and have a stakeholders meeting, and then make sure that everyone have consensus on implementing territory management for your organization. So you have to plan very well in advance. For example, if you are planning implementation of territory management in 2017, say Q2, you should start from now. The next 3 months is going to be how is your current sales performance, and what can you do best to improve sales performance, so that you need to restructure. That plan has to be made well in advance. So definitely it will take 2 weeks to 3 weeks for groundwork and getting stakeholders approval and communicating to teams. Once you communicate your targets or your new sales structure or your new territories to team, you need to set goals, then demarcate territories, and identify who are all going to be part of territory. For example, now you have a few sales reps working for India and a few other sales reps working for UK and a few for Australia. Now you would like to have few of your India sales reps also to handle UK, or Australia sales reps also to handle some of the India sales, or UK you want to UK would like to want to have some of the European Union accounts. So then you need to definitely have to identify sales teams according to their strengths, according to their experience and their knowledge and domain. So once you identify sales teams, you can start implementing inside CRM. So set targets for territories, and so that individuals also will get their own target and quotas to achieve. As you progress, as they close deals, you can easily monitor sales performance. Say after a quarter or 6 months or a year or so, you can review their performance, not the individual performance, but also overall territory wise performance. And if need any changes, you can always realign territories using Zoho CRM territory management. So one of the key aspects of Zoho CRM's territory management is it is flexible. So if you define your territories by regions today and tomorrow you want to, or after, not tomorrow, it could be after 6 months, you have seen that geographical territory management is not helping you much, then you can easily reconfigure all your territories by a different characteristic, and automatically all your accounts will be reset to new territories. Once you realign territories, again set goals, and this cycle will continue, and your sales performance will improve drastically. So before I get into demo, I would like to quickly give you a heads up on areas where, or features where the sale territory management will impact. Most of your sales territory configurations are handled by administrators, that is from territory management link from setup. You can either set up territories through role hierarchy, or you can start from the scratch. So basically, if you already have a well defined role hierarchy and you want to extend, you want to mimic the existing role hierarchy as a territory, you can actually copy the whole role hierarchy to territory. Or if you have started a new company and you want to apply territories from the scratch, you can also do. So once you decide how you want your territories, or in this case, I have these rules, roles are there, and these roles are actually converted to territories. So once you have defined territories, the next thing is you need to set up uh, territory hierarchy, who is going to be territory managers. Then you need to set up targets or forecast your revenue based on certain parameters. You can actually set targets by monthly or quarterly. A target need not always be amount field, or it could be any field that you have in your deals module. That could be number of products, number of units sold, or the expected revenue, or various other parameters that are numeric fields. So once you configure your forecasting and set targets, you can get into actual usage of product. Then finally you'll have set of reports. So based on your deals closed and all, you will see set of reports, and you can also see set of dashboards based on territories. I just want to give one more heads up on the difference between role hierarchy and territory hierarchy. I think most of the companies who use CRM, right, you will definitely have role hierarchy, but territory is not going to replace your role hierarchy. This is one of the bottom line messages. So you need both role hierarchy and territory hierarchy, because all your accounts or all your customers may not fall into territory wise organization. Some of them will still have individual ownership. Territory is a way to extend access to other users, whereas role is going to set who can actually access data, and who are all superiors and who are all subordinates they can access. But territory is going to extend. Your record is always owned, or record is always owned by record owner, that is governed by role hierarchy. So territory manager will have additional responsibility to access records, but record ownership is always with record owner based on role hierarchy. In role hierarchy, one of the deficiencies of role hierarchy is you cannot assign records to sales reps based on some rules. Whereas in territory hierarchy, you can define rules by geography, by industry, or anything, and automatically records are assigned to territories and individual users. In role hierarchy, you can only have one single forecast, but whereas in territory management, where if you implement territory management, you can have multiple forecasts. Let us start with demo. My colleague Kirti is going to give demo.
So hello everyone, welcome to the session today. So I'll be walking you through how the territory management can be applied in our CRM application. So the first and the foremost step to configure the territory management is, so first you need to get into the setup section, and under the users and control, you can see the option called territory management. So as far as the territory hierarchy is concerned, so by default you will have the primary company. So you will have the company, and within that organization, under that primary organization, you would be able to define the territories and sub-territories based on the geographic location. So for example, if you look into this specific structure here, so I have so under the parent territory, I have a sub-territory called America, APAC, and EMEA. And under APAC and EMEA, you would be able to define the sub-territories as well. And as far as the territory settings is concerned, so once you create a territory, so the first you will be defining a territory name, and that will be a territory manager for that specific territory, and the parent territory you would be able to view. And we have the section called add users, so where you would be able to provide permission for the users based on the region. So, for example, if you have a team of, say, 30 members added within the CRM application, and if they are bifurcated across multiple countries, like 10 people working in Australia, 10 people in APAC region, and 10 people in Europe region. So, probably based on the set of users, you would be able to add those members to this territory, so that automatically once they log in, they would be able to view. So a separate view will be created for the territories, which I'll be showing you in the upcoming in the upcoming modules, I'll just show you how the territories will be categorized and how it will be applied within the modules. So you will be assigning the users, and once the users are assigned, you can then define the permissions. So the permissions, we have read only or read write delete. So either you can provide a read only option or you can provide full access for that specific territory. So the read only you can use whenever, like for example, in case if you want to share records with a member in another territory, probably you can make use of the read only option. And the next section will be the account rule. So under this account rule, you would be able to define the territory, the geographic territory you can define. So which can be based on the state, city, country. You can update the rule here, so that based on that you would be able to configure different territories. So for example, for the APAC region, so in general, APAC does have multiple countries within it, like India, Singapore, China. So what you can do is you can add the criteria as the billing country is India, Pakistan, China. So likewise, you can update. So whatever criteria which is going to be applied for the APAC criteria, so you can add all the criteria under the account rule section. And once it is defined, so the primary territory will be configured, and within that you would be able to create child territories, that is sub territories you can create. And again, for the sub territories, we have the same set of information. So you can you can associate a manager for that sub territory, and you can add users for the sub territories as well. So currently, this territory management in our Zoho CRM application will be applied for the accounts module and the related contacts and deals. So I do have received questions in the chat. Somebody is asking for whether the territory management is supported for the leads module. So currently we don't have this territory option supported for the leads and the custom modules. So for now, we have this option only for the accounts and the related contacts and deals. But also we do have plans for providing this option for the other modules also, but we will keep you posted on that specific option in our upcoming updates. So now once the territory rules are defined, so it is mandatory that you need to run the territory rules. So for instance, once you have defined a territory, so in order to assign records to the specific territory, so it is mandatory that you need to run the territory rules under the assign territory section. Only then the territory will get automatically applied to the accounts and its related contacts and deals. So now let me just get into the accounts module. So once the territory management is configured, so just like the default view, the default module view, you can see a separate section to the left of the default view. You will be viewing the territory view. So here, within the territory view, you would be able to view all the territories and the sub-territories. So in case if you want to view the list of records related to a specific territory, you can go to that view and you would be able to access the records. And also this territory view will be applied, will be available for the users who are added to that specific territory. And once you go to a specific account record, so you would be able to track so the territory under this territory field option, you can track to which territory the record is assigned to. And also for as far as the account module is concerned, so we also do have option where you can map a specific account record with multiple territories as well. So in case if you want to map account ABC to one or more territories, you can associate, like you can do that manually. So you would be able to associate multiple territories for a specific record. And the same you can also track within the contacts and the deals module as well. So once the territory is configured for a specific account, you would be able to track that for the related contacts and the accounts. And for instance, in case if the account is not associated to uh, uh, if the account is not associated to any territories, then we also do have a view without territories. There is a separate view so that you would be able to check the records which are not associated to the specific territory. And also make sure that once the territory management will work only if the information is updated, either based on the if the billing information is updated correctly, only then the territory management will work. And based on the territory, once the territory is configured, so we do have option. So if you go to the forecast module, so you would be able to create forecast based on the territory as well. So once the territory is configured, so you can create the forecast based on the territory, and within the forecast you would be able to define, so the targets you would be able to set based on each territory. So if you look into the view here, so I have four territories configured in my account. So you would be able to set the global target and the target for each of the territory. And again, if the manager is assigned for the territory, you can also configure the manager target as well. And once the territory is configured, so you would be able to you would be able to view based on the territories as well. Just give me a minute. So you would be able to set the targets. So based on the region, you can define the targets. And once the target is defined, so you would be able to track the target. So whether the target have mapped with the specified target, so those information you would be able to track. And once you click on the territory, you can also view information based on the subterritories and the users as well. And this territory value will get updated. So as Gopal was explaining before, so this value will get, by default it will be updated based on the deal amount field. So in case if you want to change, or if you want to track territory based on any other field like the expected revenue, or based on any other numeric field, you can apply that within the territory settings. So we also do have the territory settings here, so where you can update based on, so on which field option you would like to track the target, so that you would be able to choose and edit under the territory settings option. And in addition to that, we also do have separate reports available based on the territories, so that you would be able to track the revenue or the sales pipeline based on the territory information. And based on the reports, you can also configure dashboards, which will get updated within the dashboard section, so that you would be able to track the reports, like whatever reports you have created for the territory can be converted to a dashboard, which you would be able to track graphically within the dashboard section. And in addition to this, the out of box requirement for the territory management is, so generally people will think that the territory management can be used only for categorizing the territories. But again, like the same territory management option can be used for the other requirements as well. So for example, apart from the geographic location, in case if you want to categorize based on any specific fields or custom field. So for example, if I have a field called industry type, so if you want to view or if you want to share a list of records based on the software industry or the manufacturing industry, if you want to share records based on specific industry type or based on any other custom fields, you can also configure that using the territory management option. So in addition to the geographic location, sharing based on the geographic location, you can also use the territory management option for sharing records based on the other criteria as well. And again, so currently the territory management will be applied for the accounts and the related deals and the contacts. So automatically, like if you go to any racket, so this how the rackets without territories will be displayed. So Wilbur is one of the contact. So if you go here, so you can see that the territory is not assigned for this specific racket. So you would be able to track that separately using the without territory view from the territory dropdown. And in case if you have any questions related to the territory management, please make use of the chat box as well. So we will be available for chat for another 5 to 10 minutes after the session, so that we can assist you on your uh, queries related to the territory management option.
Thank you, Kirti. So we have received one of these questions. So I'll be reading and answering some of the questions that we received in this current session, as well as some of the other sessions, so that right you'll have a better understanding of territory management before even you embark into or you want to get maximum out of territory management. What criteria should I use to assign sales reps to a territory? And this is one of the most important question we have to ask before even thinking about territory management. Each organization will have their own set of criteria to define territory, type of business that you do, type of that kind of experience that you have with your sales reps, and the knowledge that you have, domain. So based on all these factors, you have to group territories. It is not just creating territories, but assigning right people or right sales people to territories is very important. If you are assigning someone from healthcare background, a sales rep with healthcare background to real estate, it will be difficult to manage. Or if you want to handle China sales by someone, a sales rep from UK or Europe, it is not going to work. So these are the set of things that you should consider before defining territories and assigning sales reps to different territories. Second question I have is, can I assign territories manually to accounts? Of course. You can always assign territories once you define or once you configure territories in your administration settings. You can always manually update accounts. What if that you want to realign territories after few months, or say after a year or so? You can always redefine your territory assignment rule, and you can run the rule again so that the existing accounts will also be automatically updated with new values. So basically you can always manually update accounts, deals or contacts as well as automated way. Is an account assigned to one territory uniquely, or can an account be assigned to more than one territory? This is very interesting question. When you are selling to very big organization, Fortune 1000 or Fortune 500 companies, your account will be buying products from you from different divisions. So basically, from your company, different sets of salespeople will contact your customer. In this case, the account is not just assigned to one territory, but it can be assigned to different territories, because your customer is going to give revenue for you for different territories. So basically, you can have multiple territories assigned to one single account. I think this is one of the most frequently asked question. Is territory management available only for enterprise edition? Yes. But if you are using professional edition or you are using some other edition, we always happy to activate trial for you for a longer duration. so that you can evaluate the importance and the usage of territory management, and then you can decide whether territory management is for you or not. Then you can decide and switch to enterprise edition. The another question is, if you don't assign users to a territory, do they have by default access to all territories? No. Users can only access their own records assigned through role-based security. That is why I mentioned before that role-based hierarchy and territory management are going to complement each other than replacing. So when users are not assigned or not belong to a particular territory, they can access their own records according to role-based hierarchy. So in this case, definitely you have to assign users to territories. How will a territory be different than a group in CRM? Territory is a superset of group and data sharing rules. In addition to that, a workflow. Group is a placeholder in role-based hierarchy. A group of users, it could be for team selling, but standalone group is not going to help you much without assigning data sharing rules to those groups. But whereas in territory, the concept of group and the concept of assigning users to a particular group and automatically assigning records to particular territory is all handled in one single setup. So definitely territory management as edge over groups in CRM. That doesn't mean that groups are not important. It all based on your requirements. Certain cases when your sales structure is not very complex, you can still handle with groups. But when your sales structure is becoming complex, or you want to gain more focus or more revenue, then you need to switch to territory management. The next question: Can I have different territories or multiple territories for different deals? For account, you can have multiple territories, but deals you cannot have multiple territories because deal is associated with account. Deal always linked to one territory, whereas account can have multiple territories. What happens if the way in which you organize the territories change? Can you amend? Yeah, that is the beauty of Zoho CRM system. The system is flexible. You can always recalibrate the way you sell, the way you want to focus your business, and then automatically redefine your territories and assignment rules and run those rules, and all your accounts, deals, contacts, all these records are automatically reset to new territory. Yeah. So we want to have territory management implemented for leads also, but at this point it is not very high priority. Most of our customers are using territory management for active selling than for lead nurturing. One final question: Can I represent territory data in a map? It's very interesting feature. Currently we don't have default map implementation in CRM, but you can always use one of the extensions, or you can actually use our API and create a map view for territories, and we'll be happy to help you out. So in addition to these 10 questions, I also received a couple of questions. If my account is downgraded to the free edition and then again upgraded to enterprise after a few days or months, whether my territory management setup intact or not. The moment your account is downgraded to free edition, we will disable territory management for you. However, when you activate territory management or when you activate enterprise edition, the previous configurations will be reset. So basically, you will not be losing your old data, but only thing is that information is hidden for you. So how many users can be assigned to a territory? So as of now, you can have 100 users per territory. So that's all I have for today's session. If you have more questions, please feel free to post on live chat support. we'll be happy to help you out. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Happy selling. I wish you all the best in 2017. Thank you.